there will officially be no more first party exclusives for the Xbox One console generation. There are not going to be any more Microsoft first party games releasing for the Xbox One. Let's get this video started. So welcome back to the channel, Tech and Gaming Reviews. So this has officially been announced from Microsoft that they are planning of not releasing first-party games no longer for the Xbox One console generation. Now, this comes from WCCF Tech. I'm going to read some of this for you guys, and then we will discuss our thoughts after that. So this article says Xbox One not getting any more first-party games, Microsoft has stated. We moved on to Gen 9, basically, meaning they're staying on the Xbox Series X with it, which is the 9th generation of console and such. And it goes down here and it says, pour one out for the humble Xbox One as the console lifespan has finally come to an end. Well, that may be a bit dramatic as some third-party titles will still release on the system, but Microsoft itself has officially parted ways. I don't know why I said partnered, but parted ways with its only semi-successful Gen 8 console during the most recent Xbox Game Showcase. All the first-party titles shown on online mention PC and Xbox Series X and S in terms of platforms, but that could have just been a marketing thing. Sony always emphases the PS5 in their trailers and marketing, but then often quietly releases games on the PS4 as well. Don't expect something similar with the Xbox One going forward, which, I mean, technically Sony has already made a statement. Well, I don't know if they made a statement, but it's been a leak and a rumor that God of War Ragnarok, which was their best-selling game and their last first-party title for 2022, there was leaks and rumors that that game was officially going to be the final PlayStation 4 game, first-party game coming to the PlayStation 4, I should say, and that future first-party games going forward would only start to release only on the PlayStation 5. And that honestly seems like it's very true, too, because if you really think, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was announced on Sony's PlayStation showcase, and that game is literally only going to be coming to the PlayStation 5. In a new interview with Exols, or I don't know, however you pronounce that guy's name, Xbox Game Studios' Matt Booty stated Microsoft has moved on to Gen 9, and it seems it really means it. There are currently no internal Xbox teams working on anything for Xbox One aside from updates for long-running live service titles like The Elder Scrolls Online, of course. Xbox One owners can still technically get into new first-party games if they sign up for Game Pass Ultimate and play Val the Cloud, which that right there is a very, very, very smart thing for Microsoft to do. So if you definitely are somebody that has really good internet, and like we mentioned on our previous video, Microsoft's internet infrastructure when it comes to cloud gaming is definitely way better than PlayStation's cloud gaming service like PlayStation Now. So that's another good thing, a pro consumer thing with Microsoft. So if you want to play new games, but you have very good internet and you have the Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, you'll be able to play some of the new Xbox Series X and S only games on your Xbox One or Xbox One X through a cloud. As long as you got really good internet, you will be able to play some new games on your old console, which that right there is a very good move. The news that the Xbox One is finally being left behind may upset some still clinging to the system, but it's likely to be a relief to many others given hardware shortages and the high price of next-gen consoles. The cross-gen era with games being released on both last and current-gen consoles has dragged on much longer than usual, perhaps too long, as it's arguably limited the potential of titles that still have to design around the limitations of the Xbox One and PS4. Microsoft's rival Sony has not yet committed to fully leaving the PlayStation 4 behind, but many of their upcoming games, like Marvel's Spider-Man 2, are PS5 exclusive. As like we mentioned right there, Spider-Man 2, only going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. While Microsoft is leaving behind the Xbox One, don't expect them to ditch their less powerful current-gen console, the Xbox Series S, anytime soon. Booty has admitted getting games to work on both the Xbox Series X and S is more work, but internally, teams have gained more experience with working around the Series S limitations and sharp edges now. Any Xbox One owners out there with the console's days numbered, do you have any particular fun memories of the system? Honestly, yeah, I really enjoyed the Xbox One when I first got the first console, when I got my first Xbox One, which if you actually think about it, when I go back, tomorrow is actually going to be my first Xbox One purchase. Tomorrow is going to be the anniversary of when we bought our first Xbox One, and it's officially going to be 8 years old tomorrow on June 28th. And then the Xbox One X, I still am playing that console, and this might sound weird because we already have an Xbox Series X, but honestly, I still love the Xbox One X, and it's still a fantastic console, and playing games on 4K TVs, especially playing on OLED, that is the best TV panels out there with the best contrast and colors. Yeah, I do have to admit, like, I've really enjoyed playing Xbox One, and especially for sure the Xbox One X and playing 4K games. Like, it's been a really fun journey with the Xbox One X a lot. But also to an extent the base Xbox One as well, because that was our first 8th gen console that we got, and playing Halo the Master Chief Collection on there as our first title, it was a freaking mind-blowing experience, and seeing how much cleaner and better the visuals look going from a 360 to remaster, it was an incredible journey playing the Xbox One. So I will have to admit, I had a lot of fun with the Xbox One. So, yeah, I think that this is absolutely a smart move for Microsoft. Now, even though they actually stated that they don't know that if Sony has done this yet or not, because Sony hasn't made a statement about it, but I honestly also do think that Sony has also done this as well, because there was a lot of reports and leaks and rumors stating that God of War Ragnarok, which was released on November 9th of 2022, and that game is an incredible game. Like, so far, I think that is the best PlayStation 5, and to an extent, the best PlayStation 4 game that Sony has ever made as one of its first-party lineups. But there was rumors and speculations that that game was going to be the last first-party game released also on the PlayStation 4. And then, like Microsoft said, and like we've stated, with Marvel Spider-Man 2 only coming to the PlayStation 5 this October 20th, it just makes a lot of sense that Sony would be doing the same thing as well. And it's also a smart thing. And honestly, like, it's going to be upsetting to a lot of people out there, especially when it comes to PlayStation 4 gamers. But the shortages are over. Like, you can literally walk into a store now and you're going to see PS5s. Like, literally, unlike last year and even about the time that God of War Ragnarok came out, you would barely still see a PlayStation 5 in store. Now you go to like a store like Walmart, a Best Buy, and you're going to see like several PS5s in stock. Every time I've went to Walmart in the last like 6 months, I have seen PlayStation 5s in stock. Still, somewhat on occasion, rarely with Xbox Series X's, but the Series X has even been in stock a lot more. So, the console shortages are definitely over. You are absolutely able to get a Series X and especially a PlayStation 5 in stores. And honestly, I'm so glad that we are able to finally get next-gen consoles in stores. And people are able to easily buy them without getting, the scalpers basically trying to ruin their lives of trying to overcharge the consoles. So this is really good. 2023 everything seems to be going back into place of where it is supposed to be. So I honestly think this is really, really smart for Microsoft and Sony to do. And I think that Sony is also doing it as well because, like we stated, there was reports and leaks that God of War Ragnarok was going to be the last first-party game from Sony also being released for the PlayStation 4. And Spider-Man 2 being only PlayStation 5, that also both of those combined just show that from this moment on, first-party games are only going to come to the PlayStation 5. And because of how easy that you can get a PS5, and the PS5 now hitting over 40 million consoles now, yeah, it's definitely a smart move. It's time. It's time to get a next-gen console, guys. It is officially time to get a next-gen console. I know it's sad to say, but it is. Now, because they're so easy to get, even like Microsoft said, they are able to work around the limitations of the Xbox Series S, on the other hand, and that console has been as low as $250. So you're basically you can get a next-gen console of some sort for relatively cheap. Maybe not like cheap, but you get what I'm saying. Like for $200 some for a decent next-gen console, yeah. I mean, if you can do that, that's the best thing I could say to do. But yeah, I think it's actually officially smart that Microsoft, and of course as well as Sony, is moving forward of only releasing first-party games on the current generation of consoles. But Microsoft did stated that current games that have long life services like Halo Infinite, and I think also Forza Horizon 5 that were released on the Xbox One as well, those will still get future updates, future DLCs. So when it comes to games already out, you guys won't be left behind. But when it comes to newer, future first-party games, they will only be coming to the current 9th generation of consoles starting now going forward. And I honestly think that third-party developers, after 2023 and the early part of 2024, I think by like summer of next year in 2024, going into fall 2024, that is also when third-party developers are also going to only release their games on the current generation of consoles. So now, because the shortages are over, now you can get a current-gen console easily in stores now. Thank goodness it's over, and thank goodness you can actually go in and get a PlayStation 5, Series X, or Series S literally in stores. Like, no issue. And no problem at all. But I think it's actually smart with what they're doing. And Microsoft and Sony, that's a good move. That's actually smart. So if you need a next-gen console, you're going to have to get, even if you don't have the money, you're going to have to try to get a Series S. This is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you enjoy this content. Subscribe if you are new, and we will be sure to keep you posted with more content like this going forward. And also be sure to leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of Microsoft and Sony now officially only releasing their first-party games on the current-gen hardware of the Series X and Series S and PlayStation 5. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of them finally only releasing their first-party games on current-gen hardware. But without further ado, this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.